lots of thoughts trying to come out at the same time. But,
yes. Nothing screams progressive Labour government like cracking down on migrant care workers and making it harder for international students to study here. Because obviously, that is the root of all of our problems. Not just the decades of underfunding, deregulation, or should I say tax-dodging billionaires. It's Sanjay from Mumbai and Maria from Manila keeping this country back.
Farage, Labour are tackling immigration. Are you worried?
Really? Really? They weren't before May the 1st, were they? I mean, Keir Starmer has spent his whole career campaigning for free movement of people, wholly unconcerned about this subject, so much so that their massive parliamentary majority was gained without immigration even being one of their five main priorities. Now, of course, he knows that amongst the great British public, this issue rates even higher than the health service, and he's just basically playing catch-up with reform.
What do you think when you heard Sir Keir Starmer talk about we risk becoming a nation of strangers, these forces tearing us apart? This is language you wouldn't have heard the PM say, I think, before the elections.
You wouldn't have heard the PM say it at any point in his life. This is not the conversation of the North London dinner party set, believe you me. No, I mean, many of the things he said are the same things I've been saying for over 20 years. And that's Starmer's problem. Insincerity. What does this man actually believe in, other than trying to keep power for its own sake?
He says he means, to be fair, he says he means it. I believe it. I'm saying it. I believe it. He's saying it. He did say 5 times he wants to take back control. That was your rival campaign's slogan from 2016.
No, I was using take back control in 2004. Yeah. So no, I mean, look. This is wholly insincere at every level, and whatever happens, there are still massive loopholes here for overseas students, and net migration is still going to run under this Labour government at many hundreds of thousands a year. And all of this on the same day when we see hundreds of people, young men, crossing the English Channel. I would ask the Prime Minister, how confident is he there are no Iranian terrorists on those boats this morning? And he was asked a question. One of the journalists asked him about the ECHR. He's utterly committed to staying part of it. Indeed, his second speech as Prime Minister in the House of Commons was his love of the ECHR. Nothing is going to change. And I think today, we'll look back on today a little bit like Rishi Sunak's pledges. Stop the boats. Remember that? Rishi, stop the boats. He didn't stop the boats. It cost the Conservatives very, very dearly in the general election. So to return to your original question, am I worried? I'm afraid not. If he was to succeed with all of this, I'd praise him to the heavens, but he's not.
Is it enough? They'll cut visas by 100,000 a year. I pushed Vet Cooper moments ago. Maybe 500,000 net migration by then the Parliament. She wouldn't go there. We want to cut it by substantially, she says.
Keir Starmer has now promised that immigration will fall significantly over the next 4 years. A bold claim, considering that literally every Prime Minister for the past 25 years has said the same thing. And yet here we are, still measuring net migration like a national panic meter. But rest assured, my dear subscribers, no actual target was announced. Just vibes, man. Pure, trust me, bro, energy. So what's Labour's master plan? Well, first off, ban care worker recruitment from overseas. Genius, right? Because clearly the biggest issue with the UK care system is too many workers. And the solution is fewer workers, because that will help our grandmas for sure. Employers will now be charged even more to hire foreign staff, because if there is one good thing we love in this country, it's making everything more expensive for no good reason. Small businesses fork out £2,400 to hire a worker. Big firms, £6,600. Or as it's otherwise known, the price of nationalism. Oh, and we're also thinking about taxing international students now, because what better way to say welcome to Britain than slapping a surcharge on your degree? Sir Keir says industries have become addicted to cheap labour. You hear that, NHS? You're a bunch of addicts. But don't worry, universities. The party that claim to care about education now sees you as little more than cash machines with lecture theatres. Being told that this will make the system fair and selective, because nothing says fairness like slamming the door whilst blaming migrants for housing shortages caused by government policy. The government's even reviewing the legal right to family life under the ECHR, which is a fancy lawyers speak for. How can we legally make deportations more traumatising? Because remember, this is about being in control. And if a few refugee families have to suffer for that soundbite, so be it. Naturally, Nigel Farage thinks that Labour is copying him, which is kind of like a fox accusing a chicken of stealing its feathers. And Kemi Badenoch, she says Labour's plan is just a watered-down version of Tory policy, which, in fairness to Kemi Badenoch, is actually kind of true. It's 80% Priti Patel with a Keir Starmer-shaped filter slapped on. Some on the right, some on the left are absolutely fuming. MP Nadia Whittome called it dangerous scaremongering, and she's right. You know things are bad when Labour MPs are sounding like Amnesty International, and Keir Starmer is sounding like the Daily Mail comments section. So there we have it. Labour, the party that said it would build a fairer Britain by closing the door on migrants, jacking up student fees, and turning care homes into recruitment deserts. At this point, the slogan might as well be Britain, still hostile, now with less blame on Tories. But make sure to like and subscribe and comment on the channel, unless you're a migrant, in which case you're going to need a £6,600 sponsorship and 3 forms of ID. I'll see you next time.
Good day, sir!
You're still here? Well. This is what being right wing must taste like. If you want to subscribe to Just Jake, subscribe over there. And if you want to watch more videos from whatever the hell this is underneath it,